When a woman is raped, it should not be a plague or a shame painted on her.
Mr. Fuckert. Thanks for subscribing.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Mr. Fuckert. Today is not a very happy day. As you can see, I'm in all black. We're going to be reacting to a very special video. You'll find out shortly. Stay tuned and enjoy.
क्या हुआ दीदी? खा क्यों नहीं रही? हाँ? अभी कुछ 6 दिन पहले ही आई है। फिर तो वक्त लगेगा इन सबसे उभरने में। घर वालों को याद कर रही होगी। घर वाले भी तो कहाँ भूल पाए होंगे दीदी। लोगों ने सवालों से कुरेदना बंद थोड़ी ही किया होगा। माँ बाप की जिंदगी कैसे अंधेरे में चली जाती है इन सब के बाद, आपको तो पता ही है। हाँ, सही बोला। हजारों मोमबत्तियां जलाने से मन का अंधेरा तो नहीं मिटता ना। वैसे दीदी, आप कब आई थी यहाँ? 1 सितंबर 2011, तो उससे 1 साल पहले। मैं तो 16 दिसंबर 2012। सबको याद होगा शायद। वैसे ये खिचड़ी बिल्कुल अच्छी नहीं बनी। क्या करें दीदी, बच्चे हैं, गलती हो जाती है। मैं देखती हूँ।
Wow, this again is another very sad video. Unfortunately, this is something that has been happening, and relatives, families, people that is happening to are usually very quiet about it. It is very, very, very unfortunate, and I can only wonder what victims of rape are going through. From the little I gathered from this short documentary I watched, it doesn't matter your age. Rape can actually happen to anyone. The first victim, she was 36, and then the 23-year-old and then the 8-year-old. What was their crime? I have no idea. It's just not right. Let me just mention a scenario where, let me find her name. Oluwatoyin Salau. She's a 19-year-old Nigerian. Well, I don't know exactly if she's Nigerian, but the name sounds kind of Nigerian, but that doesn't really matter. Her dead body was found a few days after she came out publicly to expose what had happened to her. Her body was found. And this is not something that is like, this is not the only incident. A few days ago again, I read somewhere where a 5-year-old was raped. And the most disgusting one I have heard is a 3-month-old baby who was raped. I mean, what was her crime? Was she also saying things to attract guys like men to come and rape her? A 3-month-old baby. This is very disgusting. At this point, it kind of feels like there's no justice in this world. It feels like it. It feels like there's no justice in this world, and the people are just getting dumber by the day. Like, for every single thing that is happening, all the injustices, from the police killing to domestic violence to rape, it's just so like disheartening, and it's so heartbreaking. I mean, if you're not going to be part of the solution, do not be part of the problem. People actually blame the rape victims because they claim they wear on these indecent clothes, or sometimes they are the ones because of the way they talk to guys and all that. Those are all barbaric statements. Like, I mean, if you're a guy, do you not have sense of some dignity? Which religion would you say, which religion would you be in? Or even if you have no religion, don't you have morals? But yeah, at the end of the day, there is hope in this world. Like, there is hope. Because if you and I decide to stand up and talk about what's happening, we decide to stand up and expose those within our circle that are committing these kind of atrocities. If we decide to stand up to expose family members, to educate the ladies, the young girls of their right, the youngest girls and boys of their right to speak out against this, then I think there's going to be some changes. Hopefully, inshallah. Now I would like to read some messages sent to me by some friends on Instagram concerning rape. Mariam says, I think rape happens in both genders. For women who get raped, usually they get blamed for the kind of clothes they wear or where they've been. And for men, it's barely reported and they are ashamed to speak out. This is actually very true. I agree with you. Rape can happen within family members and friend circles. It can create psychological trauma for the victims and have flashbacks. It is true because she is actually a psychologist. Yeah, clinical psychologist. So she's actually talking from experience. And I'm glad you did, Mariam. This makes them hate the world and isolate and avoid the areas where they got raped. It distresses them mentally and changes them. It is the most toxic experience that one has to experience. I can only imagine, to be honest. Nancy says, out of experience, I would say that we need to cultivate a strong habit for defense. In any given scenario, regardless of where you find yourself, both genders suffer from rape, and the only reason we end up being victims is the fact that we couldn't defend ourselves. And that is very true also. It is very important to learn self-defense. Islamically, it's one of the sunnahs that the Prophet teaches like us to do. Learning self-defense, swimming, horse riding, all these things are like part of the sunnah. So it's very commendable. Thank you very much, Nancy, for that message. Also, Hajar says, my message about rape. When a woman is raped, it should not be a plague or a shame painted on her. The family should not be selfish about their honor, but instead support the girl and get her the justice she deserves. The rapist should serve the punishment without any excuses. Rape is not okay. Rape causes trauma for eternity. You don't just get over it. That is very true. Women should never have to answer the question on why she thinks she was raped. Rape is rape, regardless of why. It is rather unfortunate that mostly when this happens in families or in small communities, because of honor, they like to hide like this. They like to hide this ugly experience for the ladies, for the girls, young girls. So he says, for me to try and spell out, the word gives me chills. That subject is a very tender and delicate issue that needs to be tackled in an extreme way. I don't know if it is the urge or the cursed, but those involved in any type of rape should face a harsh punishment. I agree. People usually said that the girls were the reasons why they were being raped because of their dressing. Let's try and agree for a minute with those idiots, right? So, what about the kids that are being raped? Exactly the point I raised. Are they also dressed in a provocative way? No, but that doesn't stop the men or women who forcibly take advantage of them. The real problem are the men and whatever goes on in their minds. Let's not forget that the women in their husbands or boyfriends' houses that are being also sexually abused. It is also another form of rape. I have been there myself. I'm sorry. And it isn't the most disgusting, and it's the most disgusting and degrading feeling ever. And I wish no one to experience any sort of rape. No means no. Wow. Thank you very much, Chloe, for sharing this message with us. Mina says, it is important that people don't blame a victim for something that happens to them. One reason people blame a victim is to distance themselves from an unpleasant occurrence and thereby confirm their own invulnerability to the risk. By labeling or accusing the victim, others can see the victim as different from themselves. Blaming the victim creates attitude that marginalize the victim or survivors and make it harder to come forward and report the abuse. Tash also says, first and foremost, a human being cannot, in whatever shape or form, have any entitlement or feeling, believing that they can own or control another human being. I guess that's somewhat the idea that these victims, no, not victims, these rapists have in mind, that they're sort of like in control, they can do whatever they like. Rapists are murderers that murder their victims psychologically and physically for their temporary pleasure, to conflict long-term pain and damage upon their victims. And then I got a message from a special friend, Mr. Watwa, one of my favorite YouTubers. He sent me this. He says, we have all been through times when we have been discriminated against. It is wrong for someone to offend you negatively when it comes to our religion, ethnicity, race, heritage, or place of birth. The current state of the world is coming together as one to speak out about these occurring events. The Watwa family is here to help fight against that and show the world that we all can come together as one family, no matter what we may have been through. No matter what we may have been through, we can go through it together. Watwa. I really hope and pray that the world changes. If you have any message you want to share with us concerning rape, any experience, anything, please get down to the comment section and let me know. I really appreciate you for watching. It doesn't matter even if I get 10 people to watch this video. I really feel like it's an initiative, like it is a step in the right direction. So thank you for all those who participated, and thank you very much for subscribing. See you another time.
Mr. Fucker. Thanks for subscribing.